entertainmentbuddha.com.
Hey everyone, Matt Haywood from entertainmentbuddha.com bringing you a Let's Play slash preview slash whatever you want to call it except sucky video of the Swapper, which is a new PlayStation family title. So it is a cross-buy, cross-save for the PS4, PS3, and PS Vita. The game is developed by Facepalm Games and will ship on August 5th. Luckily, we got our hands on an early copy to kind of provide a preview slash review. Our review will go live on July 23rd once the embargo lifts. But for now, or if you don't like reading, like some of us don't, I got a little video footage of the game. So essentially, the Swapper is a puzzle game, a sci-fi puzzler, if you will. You are this astronaut. You show up on a space station, I believe, an abandoned space station that has these talking rocks. Yes, talking rocks. As you can see, when I walk by, the text comes up on screen that they kind of communicate through ESP or telecommunication, that type of stuff. So really the main mechanic of the Swapper and its gameplay is puzzles. So you have this gun called the Swapper. The Swapper allows you to clone yourself up to 4 times, and then each clone will mimic your actions. So for example, if I clone myself and walk forward, my clone will walk forward. Sounds easy and all fun and games, but just wait till you see some of these puzzles and these strategies you have to use using the Swapper gun, physics, and really thoughtfully planning out every clone you create. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually... This isn't a puzzle. I'm trying to figure out how to get around the map right here. So I'm in a 0G level. This is something new for me in the game. I had no clue what to do, as you can tell, me just standing around. Or eventually I figured out, hey, I can use a function of my Swapper gun. So like I said, the Swapper can not only clone you, but once you have clones, you can use it to project your soul into the clone. So you kind of become the main controlling force behind said clone. So what I'm doing here, I'm using my soul projector to propel myself through this 0G environment. Really just trying to find an exit so I can get to the next puzzle. There you go. Oh, and I just want to mention now, there's going to be a lot of fast forwarding in this video because this is a puzzle game. With any puzzle game, the solution is not always right in front of your face. So a lot of times I'd have to sit there and think, do some tests, a little trial and error before I finally figured out the puzzles. In my opinion, though, that's great. That's a sign of a good puzzle game, or a great puzzle game, if you will, where you have to really sit and think. I don't mind thinking as long as it's not frustrating or I feel like I'm being robbed. I haven't felt that way in the Swapper yet. Every puzzle is very brilliantly designed, and by the time you do figure it out, it's one of those, oh my goodness, how did I not see that type of moments. So what I'm looking at right now is a blocked door. So throughout the map, you'll run into these blocked doors that require encryption orbs to open. To get the encryption orbs, you have to solve puzzles. So again, that is the Swapper for you. I mean, that's its gameplay. Find encryption orbs, open doors, progress. There is some sort of story. I'm not going to get into it now. I just wanted to show off some gameplay. But there is a story, even though if it is a little light. But still enough to kind of want to keep you progressing through the game. So here you can see me using the Swapper gun. So by using the left trigger, I can project a clone, and if I let go, that clone will materialize. While using the left trigger, you also enable slow motion, which comes in handy here. You can see I'm actually cloning myself up into the air, so I'll create a clone, inject my soul into the clone, create another one, so I traverse up into thin air, which was kind of neat, and again took me a while to figure out that I could do that. So the Swapper really does not lay the answers right out in front of you, even for navigating the map. So here we have a puzzle from the Swapper. Your goal here is to reach that orb on the left side. That is one of those encryption orbs. If you get it, they will stack, and then you can finally unlock those main doors blocking your path. So what I have to do is, if you can see, I have to clone myself to step on 2 buttons, one on the top left. Oop, there's a death, and you will die many times testing, but that's okay. Quick respawn, so you can't really get upset at the developer for your lack of intelligence. So like I said, again, I have to get 2 clones up top, one on each switch. What those switches will do, they will turn off the red lights in front of the orb. What the red lights prevent me from doing is injecting my soul into a clone. So yeah, I could just sit there and shoot a clone over to that orb, but to actually collect the orb, my soul has to be in the clone. So to get over there, I have to get rid of those lights blocking that orb. You see here, I'd be like, oh, this is easy, but yeah, not so fast. So what I was saying before, you're going to see some sections here where I do some heavy fast forwarding. And again, this is a puzzle game. Gameplay is not real dynamic and in your face. Takes a lot of thought. So here we go. We're going into one of these fast forward sections. I mean, each puzzle on average has taken me around 10, 15, maybe sometimes even 20 solid minutes to figure out. But so far I've been able to figure out every puzzle. Except one, but who's really keeping score? So slowly but surely, I'm testing, trying different clone positions, you name it, dying over and over and over again. So the trick here, like I said, once you make a clone, they move the way you move. So you could think, oh, I'll just shoot one up there and get them over on their side. No, every time you move your character, those clones move too. So ultimately, what I had to end up doing in this puzzle, and you'll see at the solution here in a little bit, is I had to figure out the proper spacing of my clones and how that would affect my movement, would it lead them off the edge, so on and so forth. So here you can see I have a guy placed to the far left finally. I'm now going to place a guy on the right. When I move my main character right, it's going to walk both of the clones right, therefore putting them on the switches and achieving my goal. Seems simple enough, but like I said, I mean, that took probably 10, 15 minutes to figure out, as you could see during the fast forward. So now the red lights are gone. I can teleport myself over. I got my trigon of encryption orbs. On to the next puzzle.
Slabs of rock. It took years of study to accept that they were alive. Not like we are, of course. They have no physical senses.
Now, one thing I do want to mention about the swapper while we're waiting for the next puzzle, or me to move to the next puzzle. I guess I like my flashlight in this particular scene. But the swapper does feature some amazing art and sound. The art is actually all from real-life clay objects that Facepalm was able to animate and put in the game. And then the sound's very science fiction-y, kind of like alien type of music. Very minimal, but enough to keep you engaged and fully immerse you in the atmosphere as a swapper. So here we're at another puzzle. Again, we're still using the lights, so the lights do affect the way your swapper works. Like I said, red, you cannot do the soul teleport. You can create a clone and place it somewhere, but then you cannot inhabit that clone's body. The blue lights, if you can see up at the top, they allow you to teleport through it, but you can't clone through it. So the different lights with the switches and the way the clones move, all these come into play when you are trying to solve these puzzles, which is why they can get so complex. But it's also why it's such an amazing feeling once you solve one of these puzzles, because you really do have to put time into it. You do have to try some things out, and you will die over and over and over again. But I kind of like that. And I'm an impatient gamer, and the fact that I sit here and torture myself with these puzzles is another great sign for the swapper. So here the key is ultimately to get a clone up on the top right, so I can then teleport to another clone on the top left, and then eventually get myself way up to the top left where the orb is. Right now I'm just sitting there kind of thinking out my strategy, going, what should I do? As you can see, I cut, so I was thinking quite long. Ho! And I decided to take a dive down the hole. And every puzzle's different. I mean, some require the mastery of the light system, some require the mastery of buttons, some it's a combination of each. I've found myself guessing and challenged on every puzzle I've encountered, and there's probably been at least 15, 20 at this point in the game. So here I have a strategy I'm formulating. I kind of know what I have to do to get there. The key is figuring out, all right, if I put a clone here, but then I have to move here, where's that clone going to go? Is that really going to do me any good? So you do have to do some very intense planning here. Slowly building my clones up to the top. At this point, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm up here. I'll just clone myself through that hole. But as you'll see, that doesn't work out too well. Yeah, what I'm actually trying to do right there is get my swapper gun to try and teleport, which it's not doing because there is red there. So let's speed things up. I have a plan now. I'm like, alright, I need to get a guy on the left side first, then get a guy on the right side, and then I can transfer my soul to the guy on the left. Yada, yada, yada. Get up to the top, get success, get me some encryption orbs so I can go to that door and unlock it and move on to the next area. So slowly but surely build myself up to the top. I've got a good plan in place. See, I have 4 clones. Notice again, they all move with me. So I'm going to shoot my soul up to that guy. I have 1 clone left, which is all I need. So I'm going to get him on the top platform here. Shoot my soul into him. Got the dude on the left, so I can pass my soul over to him. Bada bing, bada boom. Almost done. Oh, but remember, I can't use the swapper in blue light, so I can't just sit there and aim myself up towards the encryption orb. I try to, and then go, oh wait, yeah, that doesn't work. There we go. Let's go to that little cubby hole. I'm up there. Notice I have 2 clones left. By moving, I actually killed one of my other clones. I think he fell down a hole, which, again, was by design. Sometimes you not only have to monitor the switches, the lights, and all that fun stuff in your clone reserves, but you also have to figure out ways to kill off clones so you can get more to keep progressing. I love this here. This is my mastery of the swapper gun. Oh, I'm going to die. No, I'll clone myself into that and let my clone die. So there you can kind of see how the swapper gun works to slow time. I actually whipped it out, slowed time, injected my soul into a clone so I would not get crushed as I fell to the ground. Here are the watchers, if you will. So on this station that I'm at, these boulders are living things. I really haven't made that part in the story yet where I figure out what they are or why they're there. But they definitely play an impact on the story. So here's one of the simpler puzzles, if you will. I mean, this one didn't take me even a quarter as long as some of the other puzzles I tried. Here, the conundrum is, okay, I have the blue light, so I can't teleport myself up there. Okay, see, teleport, I cannot cross the blue light. But there's also red light in the middle, which means I can't transport my soul, even if I get my body over to the orb. So what I had to do here is, again, I shot a clone up in the air. Transported in the clone's body. Shot another one across, because you can create clones through red light or no light at all. So now I have a clone where I need him to be. Now it's just a matter of getting my soul up to that clone so he can claim the orbs. So here I'm just going to back him up. Back him to where I can get to him. He's in blue light, which means I can transport my soul. Soul transported, cross through the red. Orb obtained. Achievement unlocked. So now I have the required amount of orbs to open this block door here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that bad boy up, which is going to lead me on into the next area. Will be more fast forwarding. Just want to show you a couple more puzzles before we call it a day here.
You're in. Good.
While this is taking place, I'll just let you soak in the ambiance of the swapper. It really is a beautifully dark science fiction game.
Have to take a spacewalk across the station exterior.
Yeah, so here we are at another puzzle, just kind of letting you watch in silence so you don't have to listen to my little fat face talking all the time. This one at first looks simple, but like all the puzzles in the swapper, their looks can be deceiving in a bad way, in a challenging way. So I'm like, sweet, shoot my guy over, no problem, but oh yeah, that's right, there's red there, so I can't teleport over. Obviously, that's not going to work. Back to the drawing board. I did leave that guy up in the top left, I believe. And see, by running one dude into my main guy, that the clone dies, so now I have some extra clones. Can shoot my guys up. Fast forward a little bit, so I got my clones in play. Got the orb. Alright, the last puzzle I just wanted to show you. This one, ladies and gentlemen, was a ball kicker. A real punch in the nuts, kick in the ass, whatever you want to say it. This one I spent easily 25-30 minutes trying to figure out. So what I'll kind of narrate as I'm fast forwarding, but essentially we have 2 red lights on the floor. These red lights need to be blocked with one box, so it's tough to block 2 red lights with one box. So I had to figure out, okay, how am I going to get my clones in position, get the lights blocked so I can shoot my soul to the clones, and then eventually get over to the orb without my clones falling down the 2 gaps, which are also red, so again, I couldn't just teleport up to my clone once I got him there. What I ended up having to do after tons of trial and error is I got 4 clones in position. And I realized again, if I moved a certain way and kept recloning one clone, I could advance a clone on the bottom with the box to eventually block the second light, which would allow me to teleport over to the orb. So I'll kind of let you watch how that plays out here real quick. Notice the guy on the bottom slowly pushing the box. But look, if I keep moving, I'm going to fall off on the top. So I have to create another clone, teleport to him, and then back him up. Let my other guys die. Who cares? The box is still getting moved. Rinse and repeat. So eventually, after doing that over and over and over, I got the second light blocked and got to the orb. So that's really it for the Swapper Let's Play / video preview / It Doesn't Suck video. Again, I'm Matt Haywood with EntertainmentBuddha.com. We'll be doing a full review on the Swapper, and it will go live on the site, EntertainmentBuddha.com, on July 23rd. So stay tuned for that. If you liked what you see, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're all over the place. Once again, Matt Haywood, EntertainmentBuddha.com, making you a better geek one post at a time. See ya.